Welcome back to Brooklands, and welcome back to Series 2 of the Brooklands members Spinning Wheels. And today we've got someone special coming in. It's Fiona Easterby and her Baja Bug. Now, we're rather hoping she's going to arrive in a minute, so let's walk over and see if we can find her. We're just listening out, and I think I can hear the sound of a Volkswagen Beetle coming down the Campbell circuit. Hiya, hello Fiona.
Hi.
Good to see you. Welcome to Brooklands.
Thank you very much.
And with your Baja Bug.
Otherwise known as Pedro.
Pedro the Bug.
Baja Bug.
There we go. We're going to have a good look around the car today, hopefully. Thank you. Hello Fiona, welcome to the famous Brooklands banking.
Thank you.
And what a fantastic vehicle you've got here today for us to have a nice look at.
The banking.
Yeah, drive around as well.
World's oldest purpose-built racetrack, yeah?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yep, 1907. About as old as your car.
Not quite, but it feels it some days.
Excellent. The door will close. Lovely.
Eventually.
Excellent. So if you could perhaps just talk us around the car and what it's all about, really. So what is the Beetle? What year is it? What type?
He's 1969 Baja Beetle. Baja meaning that he's had a shortened body kit put on to make him more suitable for off-roading, which is popular in Baja, California, where they have the desert races, hence that's where the name comes from.
Excellent. And pretty chunky tyres on this as well. These are obviously made not for the Brooklands track probably, but for somewhere else.
I don't know, these days.
Well, these days it is pretty rough, yeah.
These days I think they're quite suited to the Brooklands track.
But probably more for somewhere else. Yes,
I've driven Pedro all the way to Singapore, crossing the Baluchistan desert and the Himalayas on the way, all the way up to Everest base camp in Tibet.
Right, so this is really for off-road use.
Yeah.
Ideal for that. Probably not so great going around the M25.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, these are great. I mean, where'd you get tyres like this for a Beetle?
I just found them online.
Just search on eBay?
Yeah. I think it's Camskill, the website's called, or something. Yeah, I got them online. They're Maxxis ones, so they're quite a common make.
And is this it's a standard Beetle really, but with all these extra bits bolted on the outside?
It's still a standard
so
Beetle
engine-wise,
underneath.
it's more or less the same?
It was a 1600 when I drove it to Singapore. I've just had it rebuilt as an 1835 and had twin carbs put on. So I'm hoping to get a bit more oomph, because I did struggle over the Himalayas.
Yeah,
there was one
imagine.
Particularly difficult bit where, much embarrassment.
When you're getting up high, you're getting less oxygen in there as well, aren't you?
A particularly steep bit, But yeah, it got over the Himalayas in the end.
That's fantastic.
But yes, the engine is starved of oxygen.
It is when you're getting up high.
Yeah.
Will actually boring it out make much of a difference to it, do you think, at those altitudes?
Well, I hope it will help a bit.
Fingers crossed.
We'll see.
Yeah.
I've been as high as I can driving, so, if I can get there, I should be able to get anywhere in theory.
Shall we have a quick look inside, just look at the interior?
Yeah. Well, I had more comfortable seats fitted, so these seats are from a Mini.
I was going to say, they don't look too original for a Beetle.
No, they're from a Mini. From a Mini. The airbags aren't wide.
That's from a modern Mini, is that?
They are from a modern Mini, yeah. I wanted something more comfortable with headrests that could recline, because, when you're doing those sorts of miles, sometimes you do end up car camping.
Right.
And when I did that drive to Singapore, I didn't have the roof tent. That's a relatively new addition.
So instrument-wise, it looks pretty standard. You've not got any extra instruments in there?
No, all pretty standard. I've only just got a working fuel gauge recently. Never had one all the time I've owned it. I've just got that recently. It's not terribly reliable, but it's better than nothing. You'll notice there's a lot of aircraft stickers on the car. Quite appropriate given our location today. The previous owner was a pilot, so he put all those stickers on, and I've added a few over the years as well.
So how long have you had this car then?
I bought it in 2008 in San Francisco and then
Right.
imported it. So it arrived in the UK in February 2009.
And was it in pretty much the same condition as it is
More or
now?
less. I've added a few bits. So the roof tent's a very recent
Yeah.
one. And these nudge bars I built new. I had them made so that I could put jerry can holders on the outside of the car on the sides rather than on a roof rack. And that's my own artwork that I painted on the sides as well on both jerry cans.
Yeah, it's nice. So when your tent comes out, what does
Yeah.
it do? Does it just sort of cover the entire car?
No, it folds out
We
to the
won't
side
get you to
this
get it
way.
out now because it will be here forever, I think.
Well, we can do it later if you like. It doesn't take too long.
So it comes
But
out this way?
Probably not a good idea to do it on a slope on the banking.
No.
But yeah, it folds out this way.
and you
get
sleep on the top?
Yeah.
On the top of the car?
It's super comfortable. It's got a memory foam mattress in there and it's really comfy.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's surprising, really, isn't
It
it?
doesn't take too long to put up
No,
and
and
down.
it comes out on a
Yeah.
couple of stilts here and
Yeah.
you get quite a bit of space
So
up
you'll
there.
notice, I mentioned the aircraft stickers. So, I mean, the ones on the bonnet, they're all a bit faded, but they've all got a story to tell. So we've got the Multan Motor Racing Club here. That's a 4x4 club in Pakistan who helped me out when my
Right.
throttle cable
Yeah.
broke. Mount Everest, of course. There's the Crazy Canuck Racing team. They're a group of racers. They were drag racing in Belgium when I needed a new starter motor, and they helped me source and fit a new starter motor in Belgium. That was my first breakdown. I set off on a journey of 25,000 miles, and my first breakdown was at the Channel Tunnel.
Typical.
Couldn't make it up, could you? And it was a starter motor, so the Channel Tunnel recovery team showed me whereabouts to hit the starter motor to get it going and keep moving. And I stopped by a drag race meet in Belgium, VW drag race meet, the European Bug-In, and they had a big trade area there where I was able to find a starter motor, and these guys fitted it for me.
Fantastic.
And then we've got Mitchell Diva tyres,
Yeah.
who they supplied the tyres for the trip, not these
Not
ones.
those ones.
I hasten to add. I've had to replace them.
eBay specials.
Only recently I had to replace these, but yeah, they supplied tyres. We've got the Cope Orthotic Prosthetic Enterprise there. That's one of the charities that I supported on the trip. Every rally I've done, I've raised money for different charities, and after playing a bit of a silly practical joke in a minefield on the first rally I did across the Sahara Desert, I thought I would address the karma there and raise money for landmine charities. So that was one of the charities I supported. They make prosthetic limbs and provide rehabilitation for people who've been injured by unexploded ordnance in Laos. So we raised money for them and also for the Mines Awareness Trust, who were clearing landmines in Kosovo. Or in fact,
Right.
it's more cluster bombs were the issue in
Yeah.
Kosovo. So we supported them. And next to that sticker, you'll see the one for the Nepal Beetle Owners Club. It's very, very faded
Yeah, a
now,
little bit
but
faded.
and Bug, yeah. Again, they helped me out in Nepal. So
Yeah. So as we walk round at the front
as we
of the
walk
car,
round,
change is obviously great big bars on the front,
yep.
protect you from
Yeah,
the
they,
rocks.
they were on the car when I got it, the bumper there, but it's also it's all very well mounted on, so I can be towed
Yeah.
by that as well.
Yeah.
If I should happen to
If
break
you need
down,
need
which
to, so you can just
does
tie
happen a little-
something on
little
there
more
and
often
put it.
than I'd like. Yeah.
And we've got the spotlights on the front.
Yep. Spotlights.
Obviously nice, make it bright.
And we've got
and you've
the
got the row of
new light bar on the top as well.
the LEDs up there. Or?
That's an LED light bar,
It's an
yeah.
LED bar,
and
isn't
we've
it? Yeah.
we've got the wing mirrors, which I
Right,
came up with
protective.
a rough idea of what I wanted, and my friend Tony made these in his own design that he made for me, which they're a lot more solid, and they suit the car, they suit the style of the car, and they'll take a few whacks if I'm green laning, as they call it, going through jungles and the like.
Through jungles.
Yes.
Not jungles in
anywhere
Surrey.
where there's
then.
overhanging branches and things. Well, people green lane in Surrey, you
They
get
do.
these country lanes with overhanging branches and bushes, and that just helps push all the
Yeah.
debris out the way, if you like.
So what do you keep in the front then? There's no engine in the
Oh,
front, obviously.
You don't really want to see.
Go
under
on,
here.
yeah, we do want to see.
And of course, my Ace Cafe sticker on the front there. I can't miss that. And you notice the little Viking tour.
Oh, yes.
That's one of the rallies I filmed. That was in Norway, but that wasn't in this car. That was filming supercars. There we are. There's a lot of junk under there.
General junk, basically,
A lot of
isn't
junk.
it? Parts, tools.
Yeah. Fire extinguisher. That's for the jerry can, obviously. The jack.
The all-important hammer there.
That's the ladder for the roof tent.
All right.
And I've got a couple of camping chairs under there as well. Oh, boxes of spares. Yep. Just
So
general.
a fair old bit in there you
Yeah.
can get, can't you? Which is quite good. Excellent.
And lots of locking pins and things to make sure it doesn't come undone. There we go.
There we go. Okay, so as we walk around this side, we've got another jerry can here, piece of your own artwork again.
Yep.
That's very nice. That's hand painted onto there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, with enamels. Painted on with enamels.
And
And I sprayed some varnish over the top, which doesn't seem to have taken too well on it,
Yeah.
but hey.
And we've got a bit of a ladder that goes up to the top here,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, that was designed to integrate with. That was before I got
Before
the
you
roof
put
tent.
the tent
I had
on.
before I had the roof tent, I had a spare wheel and a spares box on there, and that was to help access that. So it's all very structural. You can climb up
It's
here
all pretty
quite
firm,
happily.
isn't it?
Yeah, you can climb on there and on there and on there and right up onto the roof, should you wish.
And we'll walk around the back here.
Yeah.
And we've got some more strengthening bars
We do.
around the back and up
Another
onto
cage.
the,
We've got
the
another
roof.
little aircraft
Oh, what have we got
badge
here?
here. Apparently that's off an aircraft
clear of
jet
this
engine or
area.
something. That was
Okay.
from the previous owner.
It's probably sound advice with a great big exhaust.
It's a very
sitting
good-
behind
very
it.
good
That probably
idea,
gets
yeah.
quite hot, I should think.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
So quite hard to see the
Yeah.
engine, but it is all open at the back, so that
It
must
is.
aid cooling when you're in hotter countries. Probably not so much here.
Yeah, but that's one of the reasons I chose this car for that trip was, there's no radiator to overheat, and it did get up to 50 degrees in Iran and Pakistan when I was driving across the Middle East. And yeah, when I put the roof tent on top, then the spare, which used to be on the roof, had to be moved to the back
the
here,
back.
so that was relocated.
Actually puts quite a lot of length on the back there, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's also a jolly good
Something to watch
bumper.
out when you're
I
reversing.
have been rear-ended in this car before,
Yeah?
so now I've got a massive bumper
Got a massive
on the back.
rubber bumper on the back
Yeah.
as well. Yeah.
Reversing light, which has been added relatively recently. I've also got hazard lights now,
Hazard
which I didn't
lights.
have before. Yeah. Anyone who's ever broken down on a road without a hard shoulder, one of the so-called smart motorways, will tell you how terrifying it is not having hazard lights. Well, it's terrifying anyway, but not having hazard lights really doesn't help.
And I may be mistaken. Is that a solar panel on the top there?
That is a solar panel,
Yeah?
yep. And
What does that power then?
I have a solar charge battery inside underneath the parcel shelf,
Right.
which has a USB and a 3-pin socket on it and a 12-volt socket, so I can
This is for
charge things in the car.
domestic
Yeah,
use, really. Plug a light in it,
yeah,
stand a lamp,
yeah.
that sort of thing.
Yeah, I've also got a solar shower that I can use as well. It's not
Really?
set up at the moment. A solar shower is basically just a black plastic bag that you stick on the roof, and it's got a hose
With a
off of
solar
it.
panel on it?
So no, it's not even a solar
No?
panel. It's just a black bag that gets hot in the sun because
Oh, right,
black
okay.
absorbs the heat.
Yeah.
So it gets hot in the sun, and then the hose comes off it, and you
And
wash
that's
your
it.
hair or whatever. Yeah,
Blimey.
but it's handy for camping.
Excellent. So it served you well.
It has
all
served
this
me well.
time.
And this is these stickers here, Popman Colour, who I'm sure you've heard of, Ian,
Yeah,
that does his
yeah,
painting
I know
with
Ian.
cars. He
Yeah.
has, of course, drawn Pedro. So there's Pedro just there. I have a mug with that design on and various things as well, and the original artwork that he did.
Excellent. So you got here all right today?
No, I broke down on the way
Did
here
you really?
today. I did, yes.
Can't believe it, can you? But you got it going again.
I might have just run out of petrol on this occasion. Let's hope that's all it was.
Okay.
Because it's been in and out in the garage, getting various tweaks done, having a running in service done, and this, that, and the other. And the fuel gauges are not terribly accurate on these things, so it looked like I had a little bit in there.
A little bit in there.
Enough
Well, it
to
seems
get
to
to
be
the
running
petrol
all right at the
station,
moment.
but,
So
yeah, fingers crossed.
touch wood, you
Fingers
should
crossed.
be
That's
okay
all
in
it
there.
is. Yeah. So I have the map here of where
All
I've
right.
been. It's terribly faded. I need to make a new one of these up. But you can see my rough route. So I started at Goodwood down on the south coast and headed across Europe, Belgium, down through Germany and down to Austria and down the coast of Croatia, across Montenegro, and Kosovo, and then down across Macedonia. With a story to tell about Macedonia. My American co-driver managed to convince them they were part of Europe when they're not. She thought they were, and managed to convince them. So across Turkey and Iran, Pakistan, India, then up into Nepal and Tibet, and then through China. There's a story there as well, which I'll save for later. Down through Laos, Thailand, and Malaysia to Singapore.
And about how many miles is that?
That was about 25,000 miles.
Gosh.
Yeah.
That's a lot in a Beetle.
It certainly is. Yeah, there's quite a lot of breakdowns as well.
Did you have breakdowns, political problems did you encounter as well? Through Iran, I'm thinking particularly China.
Well, Iran wasn't too bad. I got across most of the country without too many events. Iranian people are wonderfully friendly as long as they're not wearing a uniform.
Yeah.
And I managed to avoid people in uniform until here, actually. You can see that picture there. That's a police car behind me. That's a car called a Paykan police car. My throttle cable broke, and then that's when the police became aware of me. And they very helpfully took me back to this guest house and dragged a mechanic out on his day off and made him fix my car. Basically because they wanted to get me out of their area as quickly as possible. This is in Bam, in eastern Iran. And from there on, they insisted that I have a police escort, which was a pain, to put it mildly.
Okay.
And this is the poor old mechanic who was dragged out to fix it in front of the guest house. Bam was badly hit by an earthquake a few years before that, so hence the shipping container.
You certainly had plenty of adventures
in the
car then.
Yeah. This was my only puncture in 25,000 miles. That was in Pakistan, and you can see the amount of people there helping me. They were horrified when I climbed up on the roof to get the spare off. Oh, no, we'll do that. You come inside, have tea. Very, very friendly. And that's my engine on the floor there in Nepal. I hit something in a river in Pakistan. Something underwater that tore my sump guard off and damaged the engine, and I had an oil leak from then onwards.
Oh my goodness.
But luckily, there's a lot of beetles on the road in Nepal. Thanks to the old hippie trail back in the 60s, when a lot of people drove beetles and campers out to Nepal
and then left them
there. So there's a huge VW movement in Nepal.
Wow.
So I was able to find a specialist to help me out there. That was a hotel spa in Tibet. That's what they told us it was anyway.
Okay. We'll best leave that one to the imagination.
Yes, I'll tell the story about that later. Yeah. That's my Chinese driving licence. I had to do a driving test in China.
Right.
So, everyone has to do it, except because I was entering across the Tibetan border from Nepal, I'd already been driving for 3 days by the time I got to a police station where I could do the test.
So what does the test consist of then?
The test consisted of the chief of police. I had to sit an exam, but the chief of police, he said, well, the test's written in Chinese and you don't speak Chinese. No. So he said, I'll read the questions for you. And he said, he said, in China we drive on the right. And I said, yes. He said, you know this? I said, yes, I know this. He said, because in the UK you drive on the left. He tried to catch me out there, you see. He said, in the UK you drive on the left. He said, yes, I do, but it's okay. I know in China you drive on the right. Okay, good. And he ticked the box. And that's how my test proceeded, with him telling me
the questions,
the rules of the road.
And the answers.
And the answer, all in one, and me agreeing with him and him ticking the box. So, great. Then I had to have a physical, which I was slightly worried about because I was suffering from altitude sickness, having been to Everest Base Camp on the way there. But all I had to do was read an eye chart. And because I could read the eye chart, that was fine. I passed.
That was it.
And then there was a test for the car as well, which was not running great. I just mentioned the cracking the sump in Pakistan and the work I'd had done on the car, and it was leaking oil and not running great at altitude with the lack of oxygen. But no, I went outside, huge crowd around the car, all having their pictures taken with it. And then one lucky policeman gets in it, has his picture taken in it, drives it around the car park, stops in front of me and got out and went, yes, good car. And it passed the test.
And that was it, and you were through.
I was through.
Well
I got
done.
my provisional Chinese driving licence.
Brilliant, brilliant. Lovely. Excellent. Well, thank you, Fiona, for
Thank
running
you.
us round your car today.
Thank you. It's a little bit lumpy over here.
So how many miles do you think you've done in him?
Oh, I've been round the clock twice. The clock only goes up to 99,999
Is it miles or kilometres?
miles.
Okay.
So, being an American car, they use miles as well. So yeah, I took the first speedo. I went round the clock on that. Went round the clock in Thailand, and ended up having to replace that speedo, and that one went round the clock as well.
He's done you well.
Yeah, he's done okay. He's done okay. Few little
Well,
engine
yeah,
problems.
there's obviously stories to tell, but I mean, consider the mileage and what you
Yeah.
achieved from him.
Yeah.
It's very, very special.
But I mean, most of the reason for choosing this car was the reaction I get from other people. Because everybody smiles when they see Pedro coming. And quite often they stop and help when I break down.